Okay, so my throat hurts, so I sound like a crackhead, but hey, very mid card happened today. UFC Fight Night, Saudi Arabia. Adesanya versus Imavov. The main card is what we're going over today, and it was an okay card. The main card had some moments, but overall it was pretty mid. A lot of boring fights, a lot of decisions that were boring. Some weird decisions too on the prelims, but the main card is what we're talking about. And we're starting with Adesanya versus Mike Davis. So I picked Mike Davis. I thought he was going to be able to out wrestle. And if anybody's going to have the more power shots, it's going to be him. But I was wrong. Adesanya pretty much did better at everything. On the feet, he was better. He was just taller and had better reach and overall better. In the grappling, he was strong, which I didn't expect. He was able to overpower Mike Davis and make him bleed bad. He cut him open bad. They both had cuts, but Mike Davis was cut open. So that sucks for him. And for SEM, pretty much dominated. Mike Davis had his moments, but I thought for SEM, he didn't dominate, but he did what he needed to do to win rounds and look better. So that's pretty much it. He outgrappled him. He outstruck him. It was a pretty brutal looking fight. Like it was grueling, but for SEM gets it done, and he's pretty good. So I'm excited to see what he does in the future. Next, Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. So I picked Oliveira. Very happy I got this one right. Said Nurmagomedov gave him troubles in the first round, definitely. He is good. He shot takedowns, but Vinicius Oliveira, he got a couple, I think. But Vinicius Oliveira he is good fucking takedown defense, and I knew that going in, and he was able to stuff him when he needed to. He actually had the more, he had more takedowns, so he actually dominated the grappling a little bit more so than Said. And when it came down to the striking in the second and third, Vinicius had just the brawling state of mind that I knew he was going to have going into this, where he was just going to fucking throw. And it didn't matter how much he had left in the gas tank, he was just going to go. And that's what he did. And he made it look good for the judges when he was fucking throwing and hitting Said, and Said looks tired, and he just kept pushing. Vinicius is very fun, and supposedly had an injury going into this fight, a rib injury. So, very impressive. Can't wait to see what he does next. He's very exciting. And he gets this one done by decision against Said Nurmagomedov, and I don't think it's very controversial. Next, Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So this one was expected to be a heavy fucking handed battle where something super sick is going to happen, and what we got was some boring ass shit. For real. Sergey, his aura is gone. He had all the hype in the world, and Tom Aspinall took it all away, siphoned all of it out. Sergey Pavlovich is not him anymore. And that's like pretty abrupt to say at this point, but like ugh, it was just boring. It was a boring fight. On the feet, they were tit for tat most of the time. One of them would hit a good shot, the other would hit a good one. How it got to the ground most of the time though is when Sergey would hit him with a good shot, and then Jairzinho would kind of panic, and then he'd either take him down, or he would like stumble around and then fall over, and then he didn't get a knockdown though. I thought he did, but I guess not. But yeah, Sergey would pretty much hit him hard once around, pretty much, and then Jairzinho would like kind of stumble around, and then Sergey would take him down, and then that would be the rest of the round. Would be just Sergey on top, riding that. He doesn't. I don't know if he's just not confident anymore, but the Sergey I knew would have just chased the finish after he saw someone kind of wobble like that. But I guess that's not what we get. Jairzinho had good moments, especially at range, but Sergey obviously won this fight, but it was boring as fuck, and I'm not. It's just lost all the hype for me for Sergey. But next, co-main event. Also, speaking of no hype, god damn it, Sharapute Magomedov versus Michael Venom Page. I mean, shit. It was gonna go this way in hindsight. It was gonna be boring. They're both outside distance strikers, and Michael Venom Page, he is too good, so he just doesn't get hit. I picked Sharputin Magomedov because I thought he was going to be able to be a little bit bigger and have a little bit more output. I thought he was going to be able to touch Michael Venom Page at all. I was wrong. He couldn't. Sharputin could not touch Michael Venom Page in the first and second round at all. Michael had all of the big moments. It's insanely weird to fight him. He is so good on the fucking feet. of distance managing and finding the exact perfect time to blitz you and get out before you even know what's going on, or you're fucking off balance because he hits you and then he just keeps going, like he doesn't like angle out. He'll hit you and then just bulldoze you over and then back out. So you're either like off balance or on the ground, so you can't really counter him. It's so strange. Or when you get in and you think you have him against the fence, he'll throw some bullshit like a flying knee or a spinning wheel kick. So then you have to be like, holy fuck, and then reset, and he's already across the cage. It's insanely hard to fight him. I knew that going in, but I thought Sharputin was going to be able to utilize his striking ability more. He just couldn't find the depth. He couldn't find the distance. He couldn't reach Page. In the third round, he had some success. He had more strikes in the third. But overall, Page had the bigger moments, the bigger shots, crazy crisp right hands that are they just look fucking big, and they're not that big because he hasn't gotten like a KO or anything, or hasn't gotten like any insane amount of damage to any of his opponents in the UFC. But he just throws them, and when they hit, it looks and sounds with how he throws them. It just looks like they hit like a fucking truck, but they doesn't seem to. But it is definitely pleasing for the judges to see that, I would think, because it does look fucking mean. But yeah, Page dismantled Sharputin, sadly. For me, sadly, because I like Sharputin in the middleweight division, and now that Page did that, unless he stays in middleweight, there's no fucking point to this matchup at all. So, whatever. He has one eyeball. And I'm going to start taking that into account more as I predict in the future. I do think Sharputin will be good, but if he gets wrestled, he's done. And I can't really discount his striking here because Page, I don't see anybody beating Page on the feet. He said he wants to move up and fight Yuri. To be honest, I don't hate his. I don't. After that, if Yuri doesn't grapple, I don't hate his chances, which is weird, really weird to say. But I honestly, until he gets to like heavyweight, I don't see anybody touching Michael Page on the feet. That's just my opinion. He's too fucking quick. But he is also kind of a dickhead. I was a big fan of Page for a long time, but his past couple performances have been weird. And his loss to Ian Gary really pissed me off. Just learning how to wrestle is, I guess, you just need to know how to wrestle, bro. Ian Gary is good, but it's just like, fuck, come on. But yeah, co-main event. Boring, but whatever. Main event, very interesting. What the fuck? Next, Israel Adesanya. Damn, I sounded gay right there. This cold is pissing me off. All right. Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. I picked Imavov by decision or TKO submission type thing. Not all three. I picked him either by decision or that he was going to be able to rock Adesanya on the feet, take him down, and choke him out. What I didn't think was going to happen is that he was going to fucking just blast him and knock him out cold, which is what happened in the second. The first round, though, Israel Adesanya looks great. He has very good striking. We all know this. He has very good striking. Imavov was able to get in the distance and clinch at times. He went for a couple takedowns and missed both. Israel Adesanya has great takedown defense. I knew this going in. Imavov is just bigger than the opponents Israel Adesanya was able to get a close decision against. He's bigger and he's better than these guys that Israel is making super close fights out of. And that was the biggest thing going in this matchup. Israel Adesanya has trouble with guys that are his size, and it's just it's been the pattern recently. Strickland, pretty much his size when he stands up perfectly straight, beats his ass. Pereira was able to finish him. Nasruddin now is able to finish him. Dricus is a big dude, a little bit taller than everybody's thought, and he was able to finish him. Like, it's just seeming to be the trend. I don't think Israel's washed at all or anything like that. I think Imavov is very fucking good. I do think Israel Adesanya has a lot of weaknesses in his defense that are exploited by people his size. And Nasruddin is also just a great striker. But, first round still. It ends. I think Izzy was probably winning. He had the better striking. Second round. Starts up. Same kind of deal. Very early into the second round, Nasruddin pokes Israel Adesanya's eyeball. And then Adesanya pulls a Pereira and goes, no, I don't need it. And I was like, holy shit, if he knocks him out, it would be kind of crazy. And then like 20 seconds after that, after I like winded down and was like, okay, he's probably not gonna. Nasruddin fucking came over the top with a mean right hand and dropped Adesanya bad. He kind of like the Strickland drop, like he was okay, but he was fucking buzzed. But then Nasruddin runs up and blasts him with a follow-up shot, one of the nastiest follow-up shots I've ever seen, and fucking boom, face plant. He wasn't out cold. It To some people it was controversial, the stoppage. I don't think it was. I do think it was a good stoppage overall. I don't think it was an early stoppage or anything. It could have been early. Mark Goddard is just the early stoppage king, I guess, but I don't think it was early. The way he was looking, the way he would get hit and then like slump down and get back up and then get hit and slump back down. I don't think it was early. I could be biased because I wanted Imavov, or I didn't even want Imavov to win really, but I thought he was gonna, and then he did. He knocked him out in the second. Crazy finish, super unexpected for me at least, especially after the Pereira type beat that Israel Adesanya was trying to do. Imavov gets it done by knockout. Kind of nuts. Something that fucking Strickland couldn't do. Pereira couldn't even do. Pereira never dropped him. Like this is this is important. Imavov has put his name in the fucking basket, and he deserves a title shot. If not, a fight with Hamza is what needs to happen next for him. For Adesanya, I don't know. Maybe a Whitaker rematch, to be honest. It sounds stupid, but I don't know what you do with Whitaker either, really. So maybe that. Oh, or maybe Kyle Baralho versus Adesanya. Just make Adesanya the like title fight gatekeeper. Or maybe do Imavov versus Baralho for a title shot after Hamzat fights whoever's next. That would be cool too. But as for Adesanya, he might retire, to be honest, but he might. He probably won't. I I see him taking a couple more. Maybe up a weight class. Maybe he tries out light heavyweight. Maybe he fights a Yuri or something. That'd be kind of cool. But as much as I don't like Adesanya for the bullshit he's done in the past and his dumb performances from time to time, it is going to be weird when he's out of the sport, especially at a middleweight. It's just going to be weird. So I hope he doesn't leave right now. Because whenever he's fighting, even though I don't like him, it's a big day. It's important. It makes the fight night important, him on the card. This one just happened to be shit, but the main event, it delivered, whether it was because of Adesanya or not. So that's about it. Pretty shit card on the prelim side. There were some good fights, but not great. Main card, disappointed to be honest. The main event did not disappoint at all. So yeah, sorry I'm sick. I sound like shit. I sound like retarded, but it doesn't matter. UFC 312's next weekend, and that's gonna be a blast. It's so bad, but doesn't matter. I keep saying but whatever. I'll see you soon.